This is EBO, a small little robot that is marketed as a family companion to accompany children, the elderly, and pets. It's also a home security system. What exactly is this small little robot? Let's find out. There's a few different models of EBO. This is the EBO SE, and it's a small motorized robot equipped with a 1080p camera. You control it through virtual joysticks on a mobile app. It has a well-made tumble design that keeps this little thing on its feet if it's bumped around, and during my testing, it always managed to land back on its feet. The EBO SE also has infrared to help it see in the dark, and a micro SD card to record videos and images. It connects to either a 2.4 or 5 GHz Wi-Fi network, which is good as the 2.5 GHz networks are quite congested and slow, which might cause delays in video transmission and some lag in navigating the robot as well. It has a built-in mic and speakers allowing two-way communication. But most importantly, it's quite fun to drive around. And despite being an inanimate object, it is quite a cute one as well. The mobile app. Controlling EBO is fun and easy through the mobile app. You get your forward, backward toggle, and left and right. You can also have a single 4-way virtual joystick if you prefer that. On top, there are buttons to take a snapshot, record a video, enable the speaker on the EBO so you can speak through it, or enable the microphone on the EBO so you can hear what's going on. You can also change the resolution of the video from high, medium, or low, which is nice to have. If you are in a slow network, you might find navigating the EBO a bit challenging as it lags, so you can drop the definition to medium or low and that will solve the problem. There's a button to set day mode or night mode, which activates the infrared lights, or auto, which switches automatically depending on how much ambient light there is. This works fairly well as well. You also have a few play buttons to charge the EBO forward at full speed, tumble or turn in circles, and then you have the button to have it go back to its base and charge.
I'm going home to charge. EBO!
Usage. As I said, this is marketed as a companion for children, elderly, and pets. And unfortunately, I have neither of the above to test and give a fair opinion on. But I could see its merits there, probably most with pets, where you're more likely to leave a pet unattended at home than a child. And although they don't state that, I feel that that is what this was primarily made for. That's probably where the few tricks of charging forward or tumbling come in handy. On some other EBO models, they also come with a laser pointer so you can drive your cat crazy. Home security. On the home security front, I'm less convinced of the merits of this device. Not that it's not capable, I do think it has some use cases, but I don't think it could replace a dedicated security camera. It primarily has two features in home security: home patrol and 24-hour fixed point security recording. What the home patrol does is that it sends out EBO from its charging base to patrol your house and then returns to base. There are two problems with that though, which limit its usability or even render this feature completely useless. First is you can only set the patrol time to 3 minutes. You could set multiple patrols during the day, but each one is limited to 3 minutes only. In only 3 minutes, the EBO is not going to go many places, and is not going to wander far from its base either, for fear of not finding its way back. Second issue, it makes a patrol. Okay, great. Then what? What value does that bring? Now, this feature might have been migrated from the higher models which have AI that enable it to do face recognition. This makes it a bit more useful as, for example, in patrol mode, it can detect people and send you a notification. In this case, potentially I could see the merits in home patrol. The AI can also recognize cats and dogs and follow them around, making this a more useful feature to play with cats. But with that 3-minute time limit, and I'm really not sure why they implemented such a limit, I question the usability of home patrol as a security feature. Now, Home Patrol could work to play with your pets, schedule it to go out of its space a few times during the day, even if it's only for 3 minutes at a time. So okay, there could be some good uses of that feature, but that is not exactly home patrolling or a home security feature either. The second security feature is the 24-hour fixed point security camera, and this I believe is more of a usable feature, though that too has its shortcomings. You can set it either to be time triggered by setting the start time and how long you want it to do that for. I'm also not sure why they'd opt for that rather than simply selecting start time and end time, like literally everything out there. The how long is also limited to increments of 1 hour, 2 hours for a 12 and 24. Why? Like, wanted to monitor the next 9 hours in 27 minutes? Nope, sorry, we can only do 8 hours or 12 hours. But okay, then you can select if you wanted to repeat this, which days of the week, etc. So this could definitely be more user-friendly, but you get the point. And the idea here, you set that, then it records from its base location for the duration you specified. The other way you can use this is to set it to be motion triggered, which I believe is the most useful of all the home security features of the EBO. In that setting, you set the start time, and again the duration rather than the end time, whether you wanted to monitor the full area in its side of vision or just a part of it, which you can draw to define, and whether you wanted to send you notifications if it detects motion. You can also set it to repeat multiple days of the week, and in my testing this works fairly well, receiving a notification from the app every time someone walks into the EBO's field of view. So while the EBO could be used as its security device, I would not get this thing for the sole purpose of being a security device. You can get much better security cameras for much less, both in terms of the video quality, where you're limited here to a mediocre quality, from the 1080p camera to the features you get. For example, here you need to manually set when you want the camera to activate the motion triggered recordings and notifications every time. Whereas with most cameras on the market, you can have this automatically enabled by geolocation, for example, whenever you leave the house. Another negative point is that this robot is sitting on the floor, so firstly you need to put the base somewhere that is both a good location for the base, but also a good vantage point for the security camera. But more importantly, because it sits on the floor, it can never have the best camera angle. So to sum up, I wouldn't recommend this for the purpose of home security, but if you have the EBO for whatever other reason, you could potentially make use of the home security features in some use cases. Limitations. As I said, there are some limitations in both the software, like scheduling start and end time for home security, the 3-minute time limit for home patrol, but there are also some hardware limitations with this thing as well. Firstly, it has a limited ability to climb over things. It can do carpets and small ramps or dividers, but a thick fluffy carpet, like this one for example, it cannot do. Now, they do recommend you drive backwards if you cannot get up on a carpet, which could help in some cases. In another particular case, there was a high divider going into a bedroom. It could not get on it no matter what I tried, sideways, backwards, even charging at full speed. But I could build a small ramp by simply placing a piece of paper that allowed it to climb it. So that's one limitation. Another one is that finding its base is a hit and miss. Unlike a robot vacuum, for example, this has limited sensors and thus it's a hit and miss finding its way back to its charging base, especially if it's far away or out of line of sight. It often turns around in circles, bumping left and right before eventually finding its way back, or sometimes not. In all fairness though, the EBO manual does say to manually navigate back to near the base before telling it to go back to charge. Conclusion. So, would I recommend this little thing? That depends on what you plan on using it for. As a standalone security camera, I wouldn't. As a fun thing to drive around the house, sure, why not? It's nice to be able to roam around your house, maybe if you're on a long vacation and want to check up on things, make sure you did not forget to turn off the gas, your house is not flooding for some reason, and you don't have cameras in every room, yeah, why not? If you have a pet that you tend to leave home alone, though I do not have a pet, that seems to me one of the best use cases of this thing. But whether said pet will like the EBO or ignore it, destroy it, or be scared of it, that I cannot say. If you do have an EBO, do share with me in the comments section your use cases. And as always, if you have any questions, please do ask. I'll do my best to reply. And if you did like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, as this will encourage me to continue producing content. Until next time, cheers.